Offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Tuesday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you from the studios of WOCA Radio, located just off the runway at the Ocala International Airport in the Brick City beautiful, albeit cold, Ocala, Florida. A little chilly this morning. I woke up this morning, went outside to let the dogs out, and went, uh-oh, somebody left the windows open to the world. A little cold this morning, but not as cold as it was in Fort Walton and Destin on Sunday night, Monday morning, as they saw snow flurries. Yeah, snow was falling in the Panhandle over the weekend. Man, I'm thinking I moved to Florida so we didn't have snow anymore. And now it's snowing in the Panhandle. And, I mean, there's been recorded snow in Ocala before. It's snowed in Tampa before. I remember growing up as a kid in Jacksonville in 1977. We had a big snowstorm in Jacksonville. Got a couple inches of snow on the ground. Yeah, it actually stuck. Well, it had been cold for like 2 weeks, and the snow came, so. Should probably shut down Oskaloosa County or over there in the Panhandle. Fort Walton, Destin area, probably shut them down. Snow flurries, you know, with the roads probably get icy. And there's nothing worse in the world, I promise you. You can have all the snow you want. There's nothing worse in the world than an ice storm. You can say what you want about tornadoes, hurricanes. I've lived through both of them. Ice storms, there's no shelter or anything. If you get out on the road after an ice storm, you're taking your life into your own hands. One of my most harrowing stories of my life is when I hit black ice on the Blue Ridge Parkway. I was going to work, taught school for Avery County High School up in Linville near Beach Mountain, Sugar Mountain, that area. And I was on the Blue Ridge Parkway coming from Deep Gap where I lived, going to the school. And I went around the bicyclist and hit some black ice in a 1997 Nissan hard body pickup truck. And that truck started spinning. Ugh. And the only thing on the Blue Ridge Parkway, you know, if you're not in an overlook or something, you got the mountain wall on one side and a little metal railing on the other side, and then it's just a drop. So ice is no fun. And I'm sure they had icing problems up in the areas of Fort Walton and Destin early yesterday morning and late Sunday night. As they had snow flurries. I never understand how that functions with climate change and that it gets that we're having global warming. I never understand how maybe somebody could call in and explain that to me, how it is that global warming causes it to be cold enough for it to snow in Florida. That sounds counterintuitive, but you know, I'm sure somebody will explain it to me. Good morning, you're on Ocala Talks.
Good morning, Tom.
Morning, Hugh.
I don't think I can explain that. I don't know. I just think we have periods of change when it'll be cold
Hugh,
for 10 years and warmer. Yeah.
Hugh, you got a really bad connection. Really bad connection.
Oh, I can hear you pretty good.
Yeah, you're in a really bad connection. Why don't you give us a call back?
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Yeah, that was not a good connection. That was just not a good connection. Hugh was trying to call in about snow, and I just couldn't hear him very well. I hope it's not my headset. I don't think it's my headset, but, you know, I just couldn't hear him well. But I want, please, if somebody knows, 622-9622 is the number to call. How is it that global warming. So the globe is warming at a rate fast enough to worry everybody. How does that cause it to be cold and cold enough to snow in Florida? I don't get it. Good morning, Hugh. Is this you?
Yeah, is that a little better?
Nah, it's still terrible, but go ahead.
I think it might have to do with your phone on your end there.
It may have to be. It may be.
Yeah. Anyways, since I've been down here in Florida now for going on 27 years, I always tell the people I haven't seen a snowflake in 27 years. They always got a kick. They always came back, well, how can you stand all that heat down there? And I said, well, you don't have to shovel it.
That's right. You don't have to put heat in the shovel. That is correct. I just don't. I like that living in Florida. And thanks for the call, Hugh.
Okay.
I like living in Florida and all, and I the Panhandle, it was a little chilly. I get that with the snow flurries, but I just don't understand how it jives with global warming. I don't. So the polar caps are getting warmer. So the farther south towards the equator you go, it's getting colder. Is the polar caps defrosting and sending the colder water into the oceans, making it colder here? So I don't know. It's confusing to me. It's very confusing how it's the polar caps are getting warmer. And they're melting, and because they're melting, the closer you get to the equator, the colder it's getting, so it's snow. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't. Maybe I'm just too ignorant to get the global warming argument. I don't know. But it sounds counterintuitive that the polar caps are melting, so therefore it snows in Florida. And all that's part of global warming. It's mind-boggling to me how that argument can hold any water. But I'm sure somebody out there that is listening is much more scientific and much more advanced than I am, and you got the perfect answer on how it makes perfect sense that as the polar caps melt and the earth gets warmer, it causes it to snow in Florida, a place where it's so warm it never snows. I guess it doesn't make any sense. Excuse me. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But hey, that's what happened over the weekend. It snowed in snow flurries. Nothing stayed on the ground. The ground was too warm for it to stick or anything. It melted immediately upon hitting the ground. But there were snow flurries in Fort Walton and Destin, that area, over the weekend here in Florida. And yes, I know that snow is part of the normal vernacular around this nation, just not here in Florida. Not in a lot of places, actually. When I lived in Atlanta, we get an inch and a half of snow, the whole city'd shut down. Now, you could go up to the mountains of North Georgia, which an hour just north of Atlanta, and they dealt with snow on a regular basis. But Atlanta, it was more of an ice thing in Atlanta. If you've ever been to Atlanta, as you go over the overpasses and all, it says, bridge may ice in winter. Because it gets that dew on it, and then the bridge, because it doesn't have the ground keeping it warm, it's just up in the air like that, it may ice over. So that was something we had to pay attention to in Atlanta when I lived in Atlanta, was bridges icing over. Overnight, because they'd get the heavy dew, and then the dew would freeze and make bridges icy. Something we don't have to deal with here. But an ice storm, I would much rather have a snowstorm than an ice storm. I promise you that. I lived in the region of the country where ice storms were prevalent. Atlanta, that area. Because it doesn't snow, it ices. Now, you get up in the mountains where I lived up in Boone, North Carolina. Now, we got a lot of snow up there. Matter of fact, the reason I moved back to Florida was one particular snowstorm in Boone in 1998. When it started snowing, snowflakes that were huge, and in less than 24 hours, we got 36 inches of snow. 33 inches in less than 24 hours. Almost 3 foot of snow in less than 24 hours. I said, well, time for me to get back to Florida. And it was. We're going to take a break, come back more as we just get started with Ocala Talks. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped. The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's